going to show you how to use Notion for your project management, especially when you're working on a UI UX or a product design project. So this is not a tutorial on how to build an entire case study. This is just an intro video regarding how to actually properly keep your projects um, well documented inside of Notion, so that whenever you need to publish it, you can actually take the content from here and you can always work inside that system of Notion. So let's get into Notion. So you can actually download Notion. If you don't have it, you can just go to notion.com and then download Notion first. So you can download this. Notion actually has a free version, so you can get started with that. Pretty much every feature is available for you to try out in the free version. But if you later want to use the premium and advanced features of it as well, there are several plans which are available here. So currently I'm on this plan, but you can actually do pretty much everything in here. So once you have downloaded Notion, you can open up Notion and you can start a new page. So you can go down, you can scroll down to your private space here, click to add a new page, and a page just loads up here, just like that. Maybe you can collapse this also. So this is your page. This is the document that we are going to use to document our project, right? So let's give it a name. To start by giving it a name, so I'm going to call it final major project. And whatever your ideas, whatever your concept of the project is, you can just mention that here, right? So I'm actually working on a filmmakers app. So this is my title. Now, once I start here, there are certain settings that you can do. You can actually add a cover image. This will actually, it will be easy for you to categorize this project later. And also it will be easy to look at, right? So when you click on this, it will automatically generate a cover for you, but you can click on the change cover. You can upload your own images as the cover based on the project that you're working on, or you can actually search for something from Unsplash and do it. So since I'm working for a film app, so I'll just search for something which is related to film and I will select that, and the cover will automatically get loaded there. You can even reposition the cover to keep it, the way that you want. Now we're done with the initial setup here. We can also go to this, and there you can see that there's 3 dots actually represent style, export, and more. So when you click on this, it'll actually give you a couple of styling options for your document. So by default, it uses a serif, sorry, a sans serif typeface. You can actually change it to a serif, and you can see that immediately your entire document changes into that style. You can actually make it mono, so it's like a mono spaced typeface here. So depending on the kind of projects that you're working on, you can change it in the way that you want. I'm going to keep it in the default, and I will actually make it a little smaller. So I want smaller text, and I don't want this margins here on the side. I can actually switch it to a full width document so that it uses the entire space. You can do a couple of other things as well. You can turn this into a wiki. So wiki is basically a repository of information that a lot of people can add into. So if you turn this into a wiki, you will be the owner of this document, and then other people can also add information into it. So you might have seen a lot of Wikipedia as an example, or the fan wiki pages that you see in Reddit and things like that. You can actually make this into a wiki document as well. You can move it to different folders. You can again customize page by doing here. Backlinks, do you want to open it in a pop-up and all those things. But as I told you, this is not very important right now. And then you can add this page to your favorite site section. You can export the project as HTML, PDF and all that later. But right now, this is good to start with, right? So if you click on the first option that you see here, it actually creates an empty page, and that's what we want, right? So we're going to start with an empty page. So we have this empty pages here, and if you have already worked on Notion, you know that everything works based on blocks here. So this is the first block, and you can click on this plus icon right here to create what that block needs to be. So I want this to be a normal text. I just want this to be a normal text, and I'm just going to write all info regarding the product will be documented here. So this is my sub info category, and you have a lot of options here. You can actually go in here, you can change the text style, you can make it bold, you can make it italic, all that stuff is also available. You can just play around and explore there. So now you can see that there is the first block, which is the text. Now if you just click on the next line, the next block will appear. This is very similar to Behance, right? Once you add one block, and you can add, maybe this can be an image or anything that you want this to happen. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to start with a checklist, right? So I'm going to click on this plus sign. I'm going to type checklist here. So if you start typing C, it'll go to C, right? So I have something called a to-do list here. So I'm going to click on that. So this is starting, it will be a to-do list. And I'm going to just say that, what are the three phases of this particular project that I'm going to work on? So I'm going to divide this project into three phases: content, design, and launch. So I'm going to write it like here: content, design, and launch. So this can be your checklist to quickly see that, what is the status of this project. Now, I need a heading to be added here. So I'm going to write a heading here, the progress list. This is the heading, right? So I typed it like a normal text, but what I can do here is that if you check this particular section after the plus sign, you can see these nodes here. You click on that and you can turn something that you already typed into any of this. So I want that to be a heading. So I'm going to change it to heading 3. So I have a heading 3 here. I changed that text into heading 3, but I want it on top of this checklist. All we have to do is just click and drag and drop it on the list. So we have a section there. Progress listers are already here. Now I want to add one more interesting thing. See, Notion actually works with widgets as well, which means that you can embed any widget, like a clock maybe, into your document. While you're working, you can keep track of your time, uh, mood tracker, anything that you want, you can add it in here. And there are so many free websites which actually provides these widgets. So let's find something, right? We will go here and look for Notion widget, and I need a calendar. So I'm just going to search for that. We have this widget box, Notion widgets. Let's click on this. And we have lots and lots of widgets which are available that we can put it on top. I need a calendar. So I need to take this calendar. So I'm going to click on create one. It's going to ask for our login. So I'm going to go sign in with Google, choose my ID, and I'm here. I'm going to select, I want to create a calendar. So create one now, click on that. Okay. So we are in here right now, right? We have this, we can create this calendar for Notion dark mode, but currently I have Notion on white mode. So I need something which actually goes with that theme, right? So you can come here and you can change a couple of things here. You can change the calendar background. So I don't want the white here in the calendar. I'm going to change it to yellow. So I have this yellow background here, just for the sake of it. I can change it to a rounded thing. So I'm going to just change this to a rounded calendar. And once you have done all these adjustments, you can copy the embed code. Now, if you go back to Notion, you can go here and look for embed. So EM, and then it will show there is an embed section here. Click on that and paste what you have copied from there. Click embed link, and the calendar that we have will be taken into Notion, right? Like this. So I think the padding is like a little long. So I'm just going to bring it closer. So it looks like this. This is enough. So I have the calendar in my document. What I want to do is that I want to actually put it on this side along with it. So when you're moving this around, you can see that it's asking for placing it horizontally, do you want to place it vertically? So what I want to do is that I want to place it vertically along with this progress list. So I'm going to drag and drop it here. So now you can see that this came in here and the progress list is here. But what happened is that all these things became like down here. You can simply drag and select multiple blocks, drag and drop it here. So now this is how my document looks like, right? I have calendar on the one side. I can maybe arrange it like this. And I have the progress list on the other area as well. Now you can keep adding stuff. What I have done is that in the home page of this project, this is the home page of your, you know, Filmmaker app project. So I can add multiple things. Now you can press space and it will basically bring up the AI tools, right? If you go to an empty block and if you press space, it is going to bring up the AI tools. You know, maybe you can ask like, a small brief about a filmmaking app, and you enter that and the AI is basically, you know, writing that, and I can actually make it longer as well if you want, right? So basically develops all of that and I'm done. So I have a basic brief about this. See, this is something that you can maybe start with and then modify it based on your app idea. I don't want AI help right now. So space is for AI. Now the backslash button will actually bring up the menu of what is the block that you want to add. So I'm going to add something called a quote, right? So, or maybe a call out, right? So I'm going to just add a call out. So this is something which actually makes the writing stand out, right? So I'm going to write about the project here. So the a quick overview of the project, right? The idea is to develop So this is my quick quote. Now I have done this, I can even drag and drop it somewhere here, right? So I have three sections in here. I mean, because I have enough space, I have a wide document, so maybe I can either put it like that, or I can arrange it here on top of everything, or I can actually put it right in here, right? So this is how you arrange your document. You can put it in any way that you want in here. And once you are done with the sections, you can do this as well. There is another thing that you can do, right? You can add multiple pages inside this. So the best way to do this is by creating a database. So let's say we are working on three different sections called content, design, and launch, right? So you want content to be a database of different multiple pages, sub pages. So I'm going to start with a heading first, say content heading, and I will create a heading called content. Now inside this, I want to create a database which holds multiple pages. So I'm going to click the backslash and then write database. And you can see the first option says database inline. I'm going to click on that and you will get this particular table, right? Now what you can do here is you can give it any name. Let's say action points. So inside content, these are the action points. So the first thing we learned about this, right? What we have to write about in content and all that in the project breakdown session. So maybe the first thing that you have to write about is the project details, right? Then definitely it is going to be about the case. Then it's going to be about the audience. Then you can add a new page. It could be about the competition, right? And maybe if you want to expand on your idea and you want to write something about it, you can do that. Or you can maybe write mood board. There could be multiple other things as well, but I am not mentioning any of that here, right? So we have in content, these are the action points. So this will be the collection of pages that you have. You can click on this and it'll open as a different page and you can enter all your details there. But an interesting thing that you can do here is that you can see that there is something called tags, right? If you want to tag this particular page with something, you can do that. You can also right click this and delete that property. So that property is gone. But instead, what I usually do is that I will always add a status property there. So let's say I'm going to add a new property. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say go down and I'm going to click on status. So you can see that that particular column shows the status of these pages. So I can say that if you click on this, I can choose that, okay, that project details is in progress right now. So when you go to this document, you can quickly see that what are the things that you have started. So once you're done with it, you can actually change it to done as well. So quickly, let's say, let me start into progress. So that project details is actually in progress, but we don't have anything in here, right? So you click on open and that opens as a sub page. So this page is actually inside the major project page. Now everything regarding the project, right? We already spoke about it. Um, project, write about the project goal, right? I have written everything, the audience of it, the audience goal. So what will be the audience looking for? And then how am I going to approach this project? I will be dividing this into 3 stages and I will write everything about it. So let's go back to this. And then you can see that I'm working on case right now. It's in progress. So if you open that up, I'm writing about the case. What is the problem that I have chosen? What is your goal regarding that case, right? What are you trying to make the solution and all that? So all that ideation will basically come here. Your problem statement, the fish bones, the whys that you are going to ask, everything will be coming in this section. You can actually put all of that in here. Now, coming back to the audience, right? This is where you will be putting later your audience research, your competition research will be there. Now, if you want to create a mood board, you can actually put that also here. You can generate a mood board here. So you can just go here and then add all those images that you have downloaded in here, and you can use that as a mood board. So your entire content will have a collection of these pages. Everything that you see here are pages, right? You will quickly, if you, by just looking at it, you know that if there is some content in that page, right? If you are writing some content inside that page, it will automatically generate this icon of a text pad. I haven't written anything in these sections, and that's the reason it's not showing an icon, right? So if I go to audience and I say that, write anything about the audience in here, let's say, you can see now that the icon is generated. The audience filmmakers, right? So I will be writing in detail about them. I will be writing about their personas. I'll be writing about their pain points, customer journey maps, everything will be here. So all of that will be in this particular document, right? So I am yet to start these, and that's the reason I've put it like this. So instead of a normal heading, I have created a toggle heading here. So I showed you, like, you can actually convert this into a toggle heading. So whatever you write will be toggled inside rather than crowding your entire space, right? So this is how you document this. And once you are finishing it, or each sections, you can just write the status of it and then you can complete it. So later when you are publishing it, one advantage is that you can actually publish this directly, right? So if you go to share and you go to publish and copy the web link, the page is live on the web. One interesting thing that you can do is here is that when you're creating your own website, or maybe when you want to share that entire documentation with somebody, you can copy this and you can share it with anybody on the internet. So you just copy that, paste it to a browser window, and you will be able to, anybody will be able to view that. They will not be able to edit it, but they will be able to see what you are doing and how are you managing this content and everything, right? So they will be able to go into details and they will be able to read everything. So it's a really neat tool for your product documentation. So start getting into it and start using it. Later when you're archiving this, when you're searching for content and everything, this is going to be a guide, and it will, whatever you do in Notion, right, it will automatically train the AI of Notion. So the kind of work that you do, the kind of organization that you do here, Notion AI will remember it and it will re-execute it whenever you require it, right? So I hope this actually makes sense to you. Start working on this. I'll see you soon. Bye.